offense all year long. Huge games, huge scores, and then we end up with this. What explains it?
I mean, at the end of the day, defense wins championships. I think, that's what last night proved. And coming off of a Super Bowl last year where it was just an offensive shootout and a season that, like you said, was just, record-breaking touchdowns and points scored in close games, it was kind of fun to see it go back to basics and have defense win the game.
You really think it was fun to see? I mean, it wasn't that much fun to watch.
You know what? It was the ultimate chess match, though. So that's what made it interesting and fun.
Drew, what are your thoughts?
Well, you have to give credit to, I think, the greatest coach in the history of the NFL, Bill Belichick, and the greatest player in the history of the NFL, Tom Brady. Two people have never dominated the NFL like Belichick and Brady. And last night, Belichick's genius was so evident against an upstart offensive genius in the Rams head coach, Sean McVay. No question, give credit to Wade Phillips, the Rams defensive coordinator. He did a fabulous job for the Rams defense. But, man, 6 championships between Belichick and Brady is just stunning. In a league that is full of parity, these two guys have dominated at an unprecedented level. It's such a competitive industry. I don't know that anyone can appreciate the greatness of those two men in this field.
Kim, is that a good thing for the league that this dynasty continues? I mean, I know that the Patriots themselves make a lot of the fact that they're kind of hated. They insist undervalued, but I wouldn't necessarily think that plays out. But do you always want to see the same teams dominating?
I mean, look, love the Patriots or hate them, you have to respect them. As a sports fan, to see what they have done, almost 2 decades of just sustained excellence, I think watching these historic moments, and like Drew said, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will probably go down as the greatest duo in sports history. So I love to see it. As a disclaimer, though, I am from New England, so I've enjoyed to watch these guys play over the last almost 2 decades.
Hey, Kim, Todd Gurley's a client of yours. Why didn't he play more in both the championship, the conference championship, and in the Super Bowl?
I mean, Todd is the consummate team player. So it's just about putting the right guys out there to win the game, to give them the best chance to succeed. And Todd was just, the coaches make those decisions, and Todd was happy to do whatever the coaches thought was best for the team to give them the best chance to win.
So he's not injured?
Look, it's been a long season, and players have a lot of bumps and bruises coming out of it. So, Todd will get evaluated like everybody else and see if anything needs to be addressed.
Drew, is Gronkowski going to retire after this game?
I don't think anybody has the answer to that except for Rob. My advice to Rob would be to take plenty of time to think this through. He considered it last offseason and decided to come back to play, and that was a very good choice, obviously winning a championship. Rob is a surefire Hall of Famer, and in my opinion, the best player that's ever played his position, the tight end position. So if he retires, no one would doubt him. I, for one, would love to see him continue to play. He's just been a joy to represent. As great a player as he is, Rob is an even better person. He's just such an incredible guy.
Drew, what about the ratings? I mean, we're getting the early numbers. Looks like a 10-year low for Super Bowl ratings. You think it's because of the low-scoring game? I don't know. The halftime show, there were a lot of complaints. People didn't like Adam Levine throwing his shirt up in the air. The ads were kind of boring. I mean, what do you chalk it up to?
I think the ratings had to do with the fact that it was a 3-0 game at halftime. That's I guess the second lowest scoring game ever at that point, and it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl. So yes, there's a direct correlation, but overall the ratings were superb this year. And while this was not the most explosive Super Bowl, for those who enjoy football, they could definitely appreciate all the greatness that was in the football game.
Kim, another young player on the Rams, Jared Goff, got shut down pretty well. And I wonder if you think it does anything either to his value, how his career might go from here. I mean, it's great to have a Super Bowl under your belt at his age no matter what, but maybe what would your advice be to him at this point?
I think just stay the course. To get to where he was last night at such a young age is inspirational, and I think he can use this as motivation going into next season. You know, Jared Goff is one of the bona fide superstars, young players in the league, led by guys like Saquon Barkley as well, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Juju Smith-Schuster. So all of these guys are so exciting to watch, and I think they're part of why the viewership has boosted back up. Having these new superstars on the rise and have them emerge has been exciting to watch.
Drew, Gronkowski's future aside, I mean, Brady and Belichick are just going to be with us for how long? How long are they going to keep going?
As long as they continue to do well, why would they stop? I mean, Brady is still the best in the business. He is fun. He's got that offensive line. We represent his left tackle, Trent Brown. During the playoffs, he was barely hit. He was healthy for most of the season. There's no question that he says he's having a great time. Why stop? As far as Belichick, if you know him like I do, you know, in my opinion, he lives for this. He's one of the most dedicated people I've ever come across. I can't even envision him doing anything else. I think he'd be bored to death if he retired, just from my perspective in dealing with him. I certainly wouldn't want to speak for him. But this is a man that literally, in my opinion, lives, eats, and sleeps football along with his family. He happens to have his family involved with coaching his sons as well. I can't see those guys going anywhere, at least for the next few years, and I hope they don't. They've just been a joy to work with and watch.